Okay, so it is
22nd.
Yeah, Wednesday the 22nd of May. I'm here with Brittany Henderson now at Peets. Yesterday we were out in Woodland Hills Jamba Juice, and you saw on multiple cameras the groups of people coming in with the mental illness tactics, the cryptic threats and thuggings with the samurai, the black samurai sword guy that's followed me to something like 5 Starbucks, 7-Eleven, one time trying to get on my property, which I called the cops. That guy kind of followed us and was waiting and getting in the camera in a friendly way, trying to thug us friendly like, with multiple people working with him off camera before that. One guy going through my cell phone or trying to steal my cell phone, and then another guy coming out telling me you shouldn't leave your, just like the first guy, you shouldn't leave your cell phone there, people are crazy around here. And one time he went after a guy trying to steal his cell phone and he pulled a gun on him and all these things, trying to scare and intimidate, and met with the samurai guy, I think on camera, going on my shoulder, patting me on the shoulder, going, have a good one, which links back to my father's office, Pat Vilas. And even though I tell Brittany on camera, well, that's one of the tactics, you can't really comprehend off that, on the surface, what that means. Just like the endless horn honkings and twos, the group color tactics, the same thing was done at me at my father's office. While Pat Vilas, who my father had like a little satellite office down in Lancaster, wanted me to go down there and fix those computers. She was working on me and all sorts of setup and frame job operations. One was I drove an XKR Jaguar, and she tells me, you should really open that thing up on the freeway when you go home, hoping that they could somehow set me up for like reckless driving and things like this. But then, like at the office, some of the types of things they would do is, say 5 p.m. comes, every single employee as they're leaving would walk by and put their hand on my shoulder within 10 minutes, showing this isn't one random event, but sequenced pattern events to try to flip me out or make me look like a violent paranoid schizo. Hence the arrests, trying to say I'm a crazy person and a violent paranoid schizo, going up the ladder to probably Congress, Senate, psychology community, and because I've been in front of the White House of the United States of America with policeabuse.com, Kamau Diop, ex-police sergeant, I think for the LAPD.
What's his name?
Kamau Diop.
I haven't heard that one yet.
Saying, Kevin, walk in front of the White House with a tourist and see what happens, and White House security following me all over the city, trying to thug and scare and intimidate me. You get the idea. This isn't a, oh, Kevin, something weird happened and we're concerned. These are government operations. Okay, now before we get into the questions, I'm going to put on my Be Humble hat, because the day before the 2016-17 NC arrests, making up lies that I didn't show up in court and there was a warrant out for my arrest, when the case was thrown out, with a black attorney named Richard Barnwell from the Johnny Cochran firm, who was being a complete asshole and trying to screw me over as well. I was wearing this hat, and they don't like me wearing shoes, shirts, hats. They will try to get anything to use against me on these Kevin's a violent paranoid schizo, trying to say, for example, I'm just throwing one out there. Okay, so the horn, the alarm horn twice, and remember, call them out. And we have the grand black to my left. Kevin's a violent paranoid schizo, and then they'll say things like, well, he's wearing a Be Humble hat, so he's threatening people. Oh. Right?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It makes no sense. Now, where did I get the hat? I was walking down LA, and there's like little stands on the street down, I don't remember what street down in LA, and little things like I got like a little pin. I think the pin said justice, or the humble hat, or I was buying little fun pieces of art.
Yeah.
Okay, so the gray and black that came out here when I started pulling out my camera just left. There's also been 2 yellow and blacks.
Okay.
There is a horizontal stripe which may or may not be showing up. Also, just to notice, see how these... Oh, he left. There were 2 cars together backward. Okay, so anyways, you get the idea that they're going to try to collect. Oh, well now he's wearing a Be Humble hat. So now he's threatening people and trying to thug them, and he's a crazy man, right?
But it's just like to be humble is like a very nice phrase.
Yeah, it could go and that's the point, is a word can mean 100 different meanings based on the context.
Correct.
And so what they're doing is trying to collect, data mine with NSA level operations, anything to use against me to eradicate me. Example, I said I loved you to Jen Hess. Therefore, because their theory is, well, you didn't know her that well, and so now you're an obsessed crazy man, or nobody says I love you when they don't really mean it. Well, people say I love you all the time. I mean, you could have great sex and go, oh man, I love you, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a context.
Were you seeing Jen Hess? Or did you?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know her super well, but we were having sex, and then things started getting squirrely because I was finding out all these things. For example, I didn't know her name was Jen Hess. Her name was Jessie. Oh. I didn't know she was married.
Okay.
Right?
You found out after.
Correct. So all these things started spiraling downhill because of her demented things, right?
When you found out, was it like shocking to you? Like, were you upset?
I mean, I was upset. I was really upset towards the end when she was running around supposedly with my baby, trying to play this.
Oh my gosh. That's a butcher.
She was playing this game. I'm trying to get rid of you, but I have your baby. Does that make sense? Locking me in.
That's awful. I'm so
These are all strategic operations, too. Okay, and then because I mouthed off to her, like, you're a piece of shit and karma's going to get you. Oh, you threatened to kill her. Okay, right?
I mean, it's understandable you'd be upset about that, finding out she's married.
Of course, anyone's going to. And that's the point is, okay, now check out the blue and blacks, because as I was leaving my house, there's the solid black pants and solid blue shirts, as we see here. That's the point, is anger is a human emotion.
Absolutely.
And I'm told I'm not allowed to get angry because I'm like Kevin with the 24 therapists, 24 personalities, just like I had on my website. I saw 24 therapists and they all refused to be honest or help me.
From this movie Split, yeah?
Yeah. And so I suffer from split personality disorder and my body's going to physically change and I'm going to kill people. Hello, are we in here?
Everybody gets upset. I think you handle your anger like very well.
Thank you, right?
Absolutely.
And so people do yell, even though I didn't yell at Jen Hess. It was like capital text letters.
But it was a text message. It wasn't even...
Yeah, so it wasn't even a...
It's appropriate.
Violent behavior or anything. And so the point is that these are daily normal situations, but if someone's NSA level data mining your life, which NSA is clearly involved, taking each and every tiny little thing out of proportion and turning it into a crime, they could do that because they have the resources to do that. People say all the time, maybe someone's giving you a dead arm and you just like, stop it or I'm gonna fucking kill you, just stop it. You don't actually mean you're gonna kill them.
No, you're just angry.
Yeah, okay, but what if you collected, I'm going to kill you, and take the entire...
Context out?
Correct, remove the entire situation, he said this. Oh, now it's a death threat.
Right.
Okay, so context, which is not allowed in my life, or my father saying you're not allowed to defend yourself with my complaint, are all things that are perfectly normal. They're normal. If 1,000 people show up with baseball bats bashing your skull in,
you're going to defend yourself.
You're going to defend yourself, or you're dead. You have no choice. It's them against you.
How did you respond when your dad said that?
I already at that point knew that he was involved, and there's nothing he could really say.
Okay.
Right. It's shown his colors. I can't fire one of my employees. I'll get sued. Your employee, and I didn't ask him to fire anyone, but that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Right.
It's a private corporation, and you can fire someone because they can't fulfill the job, or they're moronic idiots, or they mouth off to you. you or whatever. You have the right to fire them for whatever reason you
Yeah,
want.
it's in the contract that there doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no contract.
Okay.
Unless
well then, yeah.
there's a contract specifically written with guidelines.
Right.
Yeah. So, like example, supposedly Brian Longbotham sued Modern Video Film for breach of contract. Okay, there's a contract.
Right.
But there's no, in my father's office, hey, you do data entry, you fill out these forms. I mean, they're I'm not trying to sound like I'm above anyone, but they're really repetitive, moronic.
Right.
I don't know if moronic, but repetitive, simplified jobs, right? They do the same thing over and over and over, and it's filling out forms or faxing something to some medical office. And we're not talking about brain surgery here, right? Okay.
So you brought it to your dad's attention?
Oh, like a million times. But he supported the employees that he was sitting next to watching them attack me.
Okay.
Just like he wanted me to go to restaurants and tell everyone in restaurants to endlessly attack me and then play a game like he can witness a reaction.
Right.
Even though he's telling them to do it. And then tell me I'm not allowed to defend myself. So
What do you do?
how do you address the situation if someone's exerting psychotic murdering behaviors like that? But even worse,
You can't
get away from it
Right.
because they have everyone involved worldwide.
I can't imagine
Right? You don't, and then they play this game. Well, if it's
feeling.
that bad, why don't you leave? You suffer from obsession. Right?
Okay.
Working their psychology labels. Okay, motive, agenda. Okay,
Yeah, that's
on that note, I wrote something on my phone that isn't in here because the
Okay.
thought popped in my head really fast as I was leaving the house. At 29, so I just want to get it out.
Yeah.
At 29, after Rhodey was taking me to strip clubs, Rhodey was trying to get murder confessions that had killed someone. I didn't even know Rhodey was working for the LAPD. I didn't have the daily news newspaper clippings. I had those like 9 years later. But I knew from the tone of his voice that he went from I'm your friend to interrogation mode.
okay.
And the tone of his voice,
Right.
you can tell. And being that Mr. I hang out with strippers and I want to build adult websites is now hanging out with LAPD trying to catch murderers, supposedly other than me, but I'm also supposedly a murderer. Doesn't
you are
quite add up,
Correct.
right?
Yeah, because you're absolutely not that. You're not violent. You're not any of those things. And you
But
would
more
not do that.
importantly,
He was not honest.
you don't see like, hey, I want to start building all these adept websites with strippers and porn stars, even though I was already doing it. And I hang out with the cops and Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't add up,
Yeah.
right? Of course, I didn't have that proof back then.
Right.
So this event occurs. I flip into a state of, let's just say, temporary paranoia because I didn't have the.
You didn't know what was going on.
I didn't know what was going on. So the curiosity emotion, number one.
Trying to figure it out.
The
I'm sure.
paranoia, something's wrong.
Yeah.
But remember, the definition of paranoia is I think something's wrong and it's not something's wrong and there are things being done to you. Right? That's not paranoia.
Right.
Paranoia is the delusion that something's going on, but I've proven a billion times over and I can explain in facts and logic endless all day and night things going on and linking all the way back to high school and young childhood.
Right. It's based in fact. It's not based
Yeah,
in
facts, logic. So it's not paranoia. It's not mental illness. It's people trying to make me look crazy to lock me away. So my mother says, after I kind of, within this short time period, it goes from, and I don't remember the exact time frames or the exact order of the comments, but your past caught up with you, hinting that I need to leave the country. Strange. Around the same time, maybe before or after, whatever happened is over. Now
What
that's
does that
important.
mean?
It means, okay, think about this. You're finding out all these freaky, shady things are being done.
Yeah.
You're finding out your business partner is now flipping out, like I've given you enough rope to hang yourself with. We're using the system against you with the police, right? Something's very wrong, but you don't know what. And your mother says, whatever happened is over. Now, how would you sort of...
I would not feel good about that at all.
Correct.
Like,
Doesn't
what
that,
does
sound
mean?
like you know something you're not telling me?
Like whatever happened implies something happened.
Yeah. Like she knows.
Yeah, but it's over now. So
Because theoretically, that statement doesn't make sense because her wording is, I know what's going on, right? Because if she didn't know what's going on, she'd say, what's going on?
Right.
Not whatever happened is over. So remember that my family's scam is this obsession scam. They're trying to make it look like I'm manic depressive, I'm obsessed. And remember, these psychological labels change on a daily basis and switch and change.
I know.
So now she's wording things calculated in such a way, trying to make it look like, oh, well, you can't move on from your life, right? So then, I don't know, I'm trying to think of some of her, I don't know if you've heard any of those conversations or when we spoke, how she always jumps back. Oh, some of her conversations to me was like, look, you know, there's only 1 or 2 people in your neighborhood, and, you know, you suffer from a traumatic event, trying to insinuate or allude that something happened here and my brain isn't functioning correctly.
It impacted you in this way.
Yeah, and they're leaving out, look, here's video of these 100 people per day, here's video of these 100 people per day.
What traumatic event? She won't tell
There
you.
is no traumatic event. Only traumatic event I can think of is that my brother showed me Toxic Avenger by Trauma Films, right?
Okay.
And all the girls with subtweets or people on the internet with subtweets saying, stay away from toxic people, joking about me watching Toxic Avenger as a kid, which nobody would care about, right?
No.
And when I go into coffee shops, the employees would instantly come out and mock, like Melvin, the dorky character in Toxic Avenger. It falls into toxic waste or whatever. It turns into the toxic event, whatever, you know. Right? So once again, these things of trying to make it look like I conform to media. You know, this isn't one person joking around. This is strangers worldwide, all day and night, never ending, and jumping from thing to thing, and then arrests and you don't talk and things like that. Right?
You can't defend yourself.
Yeah, and then we want to lock you in a mental institution, all linking back to my brother Jason's death threats at 16. Me and my friends are going to put you in a mental institution, or me and my friends put a teacher in a mental institution, and now we have a bug in your room, and we're listening to everything you do on the radio to try to flip me out after stopping him from trying to bash Greg Wall's head in with a crowbar.
They put a teacher in a mental institution?
That's what he said. I doubt it.
Okay, but still, like, if I heard that, I would be like, whoa, you know?
Yeah, and so this is my brother, and you
Unsettling.
know that my family's protecting him because he's a urologist and has a secondary psychology degree like them.
Yeah. You said there's never been any consequences or like
Correct.
anything
He
for
goes
anything
out.
he did.
Well, all the things he does, they put on me. He goes out with his friends. They do all their road rage shit. Kevin did it.
You're blamed for it.
Yeah. So Kevin's a public nuisance when he was 16 for all his road rage shit, which is actually Jason and his friends.
Did you ever say anything about that?
Oh
to
yeah.
them?
And I get people will start whistling, hinting I'm a whistleblower.
Okay.
Strangers, not.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Why does? Okay, we're in Thousand Oaks. Why would Joe Blow here in Thousand Oaks care that 30 years ago, Jason
No.
Perlman is trying to frame me and be mad at me, going, "You're a whistleblower and you don't talk," like they're mafia or something, right? Doesn't make sense.
No.
So, what's the reasoning? Well, there's obviously something more complex going on with the psychology community and government to stage these things and try to make me think with disinformation or brainwashing or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
that I'm the bad guy to accept my fate. Right?
Trying to make you. Yeah. Do you think they're trying to make you believe that?
Correct.
Okay.
You're a bad person. My father's honest. People aren't allowed to defend themselves, so you got to suffer the consequences.
Of what?
That's the thing. You know what you did, and of what?
Right.
He can't answer the question. He can't answer the question. My mom can't answer the question. Not one person on this planet can answer the question because they know if they try to throw something at me, there's going to be a valid argument,
Of course.
and theirs is going to be based on lies anyways. And remember, they're trying to set me up. They're trying to plant drugs in my house with Rody Morales.
Right.
To try to make it look like I'm a drug dealer, a trash bag of marijuana 18 years ago, before marijuana was legalized. You get the idea.
Right.
They just want me dead and gone for no reason. Also known as flagging operations, which start at 5. Pre-crime. we're profiling you. At 5 years old, I think you suffer from nervous disorders, and we're going to watch you, and anytime I feel you yell too loud, you're gone. You're history. Right?
That's because that also, you said you thought it started with the mud, right?
Yeah, it started at 4 years old, throwing some mud in the street and hitting the car. Doesn't even make any sense.
It was an accident. You didn't
Correct,
mean to do that.
so you have to sort of understand the family I'm coming from.
Yeah.
They all have psychology degrees. Now remember, my mom I think I mentioned this yesterday. My mom on the phone said she's an LMFT. She didn't use the word art therapist like she normally did.
No, she didn't.
And I was telling you she's bringing home artwork of the cut-off head from the clay cut-off head on the stump in the water drawing from one of her students in Cedar Sinai or whatever kid, analyzing the art, and then they analyze all my art, and they just jump from thing to thing, just pure craziness. But my art's not only that, but my art's not like that. It's maybe it's a comic book character with a sword or a gun or some buff guy, and then I do a lot of joking things too, like little alien, happy, dorky aliens or whatever. It just jumps from thing to thing. But each thing they somehow manage to twist it and give it out to the entire planet, along with Tom Farley telling the world at around 8 years old I supposedly saw an alien in his bath. Just the weirdest things. Don't make any sense.
Do you feel like they've always analyzed everything you did? Like a lot?
They still do, yeah.
I mean, since we were like itty bitty.
Oh yeah. It's just pure insanity. But it's calculated thinking too, because you see the evilness behind it. They never say, oh, I was wrong, I fucked up.
Right.
Or let's stop. Yeah. They just keep going with larger and larger groups.
Do you feel like they kind of, the fact that you said that is like if you feel like they were analyzing you your whole entire life, then you didn't really get to be just like a kid.
Well, they're not just analyzing it, they're data mining. And they're data mining with NSA level tools. That's the real problem. And then they're giving out the out of context information. Like, let me give you an example. In University of Colorado, in my painting class, I went out to Goodwill or something, and I found this 70s or 60s, I don't know what you call it, a chair. Oh, cool. Like a curvy, bubbly, roundy chair. And so I painted the scene. It was a painting class. Cool. So I painted the scene of floating ice in space and dragons and wormholes in space.
Very cool.
Okay. Now, this was in 96 maybe. Now in 2005, when I'm getting into studio photography on One Model Place and modelmayhem.com, which they're all trying to get rid of me with the police and Aubrey Fisher, you're not allowed to get into studio photography, so we're going to tell the world you're a fraud and doing all these things with my father and Lorraine Escobar. One of the first girls messages me wanting to, hey Kevin, do you want to do a photo shoot with me? And like the front picture on her Model Mayhem portfolio is her sitting on the same chair, not painted, but the same chair. Okay. And I wasn't really making those connections back then.
I mean, why would you?
See the level of Brian Longbotham's spy games.
Right.
Right. I know you, but I don't know you. I'm sending you these hidden messages, but I don't know you. You're a monster. You know what I did, what you did, but you're not allowed to know that, and you're also not allowed to defend yourself.
Right.
Okay.
It's like, of course you didn't pick up on those things because, like...
So how does this girl somewhere around the United States have this information? Now, yes, sure, there could be...
a coincidence, but...
those 6 degrees separation, but let's be realistic, especially if it goes from one thing sequentially after the next.
That's the piece right there. It's like, sure, like that happened, but like not over and over and over and over and over with different scenarios or whatever constantly.
And now here's another one for you. Okay, so we're here. I did an interview with Brittany yesterday down at Woodland Hills. We're now on round 2. Okay, that's one of my jokes. I always joke around like round 2 or this and that. Maybe I get another coffee. Maybe I get seconds on round 2. Right?
That's normal.
Or then actually I do a joke. I go, if I'm like drinking alcohol, I go reload because out of the scene of one of the first Hulk movies, because they're running around with Brian Longbottom saying, I'm the Hulk and when I get angry.
I mean, you've never been violent.
Correct. But that's not what they're going to tell him. But when they're running around saying, I'm like the Hulk, okay?
Right.
So now these are, and to give you an idea, because we're doing 2 days in a row here, who would care? Do you think that you have a psychology degree?
No,
do you think that talking to me 2 days in a row is some kind of mental illness, obsession,
No.
Okay. So,
I mean, no.
Okay,
Generally,
right?
there's like a day in between sessions, but now we can't do
yeah,
that.
I mean, and in the context is I'm going to court tomorrow. But still,
Yeah,
even if I wasn't,
it's not.
who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So these are some of the things they're mad about. Me saying round 2.
Okay.
They would get mad at this. And then they would associate round 2 with my artwork in University of Colorado of Mike Tyson, composite with the character Katana in my Jim Johnson computer imaging class.
Okay.
Do you see the problem?
Yeah.
Okay.
None of that stuff should. Yeah.
Okay, let's break it down.
Matter.
I'm in a private art class with 30 people. Now, Jim Johnson wanted to put up a sleeping dog contest on the internet when the internet was young, and even one of my websites today, I work my ass off or pay a lot of money to get traffic to it. People just don't come to a website because it's online.
True, very true.
Sleeping dog, he was hinting about Rhoda, my father's Rhodesian Ridgeback, which he put shock collars on, and then jumped up and bit my friend Basu when he stepped over him. And also links to them sending Kelly Hatch after me, wanting me to see the Bad Seed, 1946 Bad Seed, and hint that I'm like the girl Rhoda, who's an evil 10-year-old killing everyone. Okay? Anyways,
and you said on here too, the 3, like this is similar, right? Since we saw,
what is
this is 2 times this week.
Correct. So if we were to do 3 times last week, then they would have a new argument on 3s.
Okay.
Just like tipping, like I used to tip waitresses. Like let's say I order a scotch and then I tip them $2, they would get mad.
Why?
Exactly. Why?
Right.
They
it's
would
nice
get
of you to
mad. You tip me $2, you're harassing me. And then I change it. Okay, well here's $3. You tip me $3, you're harassing me.
That's too much. Why
And
would
then
you
what do you do? Well, if you're going to come after me for giving you money and being nice, I'm
Then
not going to tip
won't.
you.
Right.
Then they come after me with everyone in Grubhub, notifying every restaurant in the world, hunt him and attack him for not tipping us.
So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Correct. Catch-22, damned if you do, damned if you don't, double bind. These are all strategic to eradicate me no matter what it takes.
Right.
And my mother's statement around 29, you have a problem too.
That's what she said.
I don't know if she
too?
means that literal.
It could be also. It could be 2. It could be.
Right.
Right. At 29, she said. What was the context of that?
I don't remember. It was all at the same time. Your
Okay.
past caught up with you. You have a problem too. Then sort of shifting. Whatever happens over with, or maybe she said that right before. I don't know. Right? It's like.
Yeah.
But all these statements are not statements of concern or, hey Kevin, what's going on? Well, let me explain it. Oh my God, are you serious? Right?
Okay.
That's how people normally behave.
Yeah.
Not like some interrogating detective.
So if you were to say that, like, this is what's going on, and explain everything, their reaction.
You heard me on our conference call.
And their reaction is not.
Instantly, I'm on his side, I'm there for him. Well, you know, if we go to restaurants and these people start attacking me, and you're sitting there smiling, chewing on your food, and they keep cooking my steak rare at every single restaurant in the world, and refuse to cook it right each and every time I send it back, and this happens at every restaurant, and then they keep saying enjoy, enjoy, enjoy from every employee in every restaurant, and then she instantly says, I'm on your side and I know what's going on, and then she goes, oh, well, people say enjoy.
And,
okay, wait a minute, you just said.
I know.
It's not a very tough thing to grasp.
Right, it's like, well, the validation, like, it's just going against what she was
and then
saying.
we're back to Kevin's crazy, even though she won't directly say it that way.
Just acknowledging it, period,
But
she's
nowhere,
never said that, has she?
No, because she has that degree, and so she's going to tiptoe this way and that way and pretend to be on your side, or pretend to get your trust so that you can talk more. Not trying to offend you.
No, it's okay.
Oh, now I got it, right? And it's like, well, you didn't get anything because you're just being your detective self, and you're going to reinforce she's going to reinforce her original beliefs. She's not going to take 1 second to keep an open mind at all, that there are bad people out there, and sometimes bad things happen.
Right.
She's living in this fantasy bubble that everything's a perfect world.
Right.
There aren't bad people. Every cop is a good cop.
And so when she said she was worried about you and worried about court, what do you think she meant by that?
Well, she shifts because then it's like,
Like worried about your safety, or worried about like what might happen, or like,
I can't tell you because they're inconsistent. For example,
Right.
I want you to have a good life, but we're going to put you in a mental institution. Well, that's not a good life. Why do I have to go into a mental institution? Well, I'm not going to have a direct conversation.
Yeah.
Okay? There's no direct sentences. Kevin, you suffer from paranoia or...
OCD.
Actually, there were earlier. There were you suffer from paranoia or something. She's never said directly OCD. She's never said...
Okay.
They've never said the anger, violent rage, which I picked up from Mike Huntley at 29. But remember, these labels change every day.
Right.
And
what did you think she meant when she said that the other day on the phone?
she wants me to have a good life.
Or she is worried about Court, worried about you and stuff. What do you
Well,
think
remember,
she meant?
her story changes and she can't...
No, you're right. I just didn't
listen,
know how you interpreted it.
Okay, well, this is how I interpret it. I've shoveled them hundreds of videos, just like my lawyer, just like you.
Do you need to get
no,
that?
they're seeing we're all good.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Okay, so,
You might.
no, that's okay. You've had probably 100 emails, I don't know how many you watched, but the ones I showed you in the office, instantly. Oh my God.
It's
Instantly.
awful. It's not okay.
Yeah.
It's because it's not just like what's it called? Passive shit either. It's like the physical attacks
Well,
as
it's
well.
passive aggressive. Oh yeah, that's true. It's the passive aggressive and then the physical attack.
Right.
Okay.
And the physical and like the vandalism and all these things. Like even if like you want to try and I don't know, ignore the whatever, you can't deny the things you can't like see in front of your face.
Yeah,
But
and
you
they're
can't
playing
deny
this
the
game.
facts
There's no
like
middle
that.
ground in life. It's either this way or that way.
But like, are you kidding me? Like, what about the dog fight where you're gushing blood, or like, what about your car where there's cash in it? Like, you're gonna say
Yeah,
that didn't.
exactly. They just
You can't
Okay, well, I think
ignore
there's
that.
another Grand Black for you, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't see from here.
No, you're right. It is.
It might be blue.
No,
But
I think
anyways,
it's But those things
exactly.
like you
They
can't deny
discount.
it.
There's like thousands, literally thousands of these events. Thousands, literally. And the police are also discounting it.
And they didn't do anything about the vandalism or the tire slashings or like the cars shoved in
Nothing.
the windows.
They just over the head like
And
there's
that's
nothing
not
going
okay.
on.
That's
So
not
how do you
okay.
take her statements? You now can't. They've broken that trust because they can't be honest. Or if they're just in la la land, then you also can't trust them because they're like,
Right. You don't.
I'm
I know.
floating. Okay, well I can't tell you anything because it's like.
I mean, that's a very unsettling place, and it's hard because, like, I know you love your mom, but it's
yeah,
hard
but-
to know where she's coming from.
Yeah, okay, so my brother. Oh, this is one of the things my mother said. 29, my mother says I have a problem and everyone sees it. Well, what's the problem?
Oh,
They can't tell me.
she didn't say. She just said that.
Yeah. Everyone sees it. Well, it sees what? What do they see? We also have Brian Longbotham. Stop doing what you're doing. What am I doing?
Right.
Am I eating 3 meals a day? Am I going to the gym 4 times a week? Lorraine Escobar is what you're doing in the privacy of your own home. Am I building an atomic bomb?
No.
Okay. Lorraine Escobar was in my home. Like, Kevin, will you do a photo shoot of me? And then she got mad and told the world I ruined her life because I did a photo shoot of her. That was
Oh
pretty
my
strange.
gosh.
Okay.
Stop doing what
and
you're doing, but
if
they
I
won't
was
tell
doing
you.
something in my home of this magnitude that's illegal,
Then do something.
why didn't she just call the cops? And
Correct.
the cops. Well, they have been trying to get a warrant, but
For what?
there's nothing they're gonna find. I
They
even put
can't
up a
get
video this morning of a walk through my house. There's no 100,000 bazookas and grenades and atomic bombs and nuclear reactors.
What would they get? How would they even get a warrant? Because you're not doing anything that would warrant a
Well,
warrant.
they're trying to say. Remember, my dad gives me a toy gun, pays off Victoria Walker to give me a toy
okay.
gun, and says I have a gun in my house. My dad gets mad that I'm using it in photo shoots, which really triggers him, because now the incriminating evidence against him is
It's
in
out
photo
there.
shoots with models,
Okay.
showing I
I've
don't
seen
have
those.
guilt,
Yeah.
showing it's a toy gun. It says the label on the gun. You can see it's a toy gun.
Yeah. I
The-
saw those pictures.
Yeah, they're toy guns. I have the gun all over my website and posted all over the world showing it's a toy gun.
Yep.
But wait, doesn't the Second Amendment, before this arrest, say I'm allowed to have a toy gun? Or
Yeah.
a gun, a real gun?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if the Second Amendment
But you didn't
states
have
that I'm
one.
allowed to own a firearm,
What's the
then
problem?
why is my father hunting me down, saying Kevin's crazy and it has a gun, when the Second Amendment states I'm allowed to have a gun.
Sorry, they keep announcing names.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right? So still, even if I were to be a gun owner,
That
which I don't care about guns, never
perfectly
have.
legal as long
Correct.
as
So now you understand who my father is with Lorraine Escalante. Now, right? So there is no crime. There's just how can I get anything to use against
So that's
Kevin? And Dincy arrested me on like a $10,000 bail for putting one single card on a car.
That's ridiculous.
Okay, Dincy during the trial, 2 weeks before the trial, obviously paid off. Gave me a parking ticket for 1.5 inches in the red. Which, he already got what he wanted, he got his arrest. But during the trial, he's still trying to bug me to get reactions.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? So he's being paid off to nitpick and try to get whatever he can to use against me. With everyone else.
An inch in the red.
Correct, an inch. But more importantly than the ticket, okay, we can debate all day if that's a ticket or not. Sure. My car was an inch in the red.
You're already arrested. You already have
my car was an inch in the red after its falsified criminal threat things and falsified battery charges. My car was 1 inch in the red. Sure, technically, in a black and white world, that is a parking ticket, but that's not what this is about. This is about a meter maids give parking tickets.
Correct.
LAPD guys that cruise around in black and white cars, which are supposed to stop crime.
Right,
They don't care about parking tickets.
In general, no, they don't.
And Seymour wouldn't use that in court. Okay, so
And you're sure you don't want to enter?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Okay, so
I guess I'm like
yeah.
nervous about that too.
Okay, so all these people see it, but there is nothing to see because everything they see is based on the well-being poison. Does that make sense?
Like, yeah, they don't have a perspective of the
Kevin's
scenario.
a crazy, delusional, violent, paranoid schizo. Let me give you an example. Let's say I know you're coming to Peets Coffee.
Yeah.
And I tell all these people you're a violent, paranoid schizo, and you've killed 5 people.
And their reaction would
Now, they don't have proof of that, right?
It's just word
Now,
of
you
mouth.
walk in and you're like, let's say you have a very loud voice.
Number 63, please.
Like that. Let's say you have a loud voice. And you walk in, hi, how's it going? And then,
People are gonna be
the girl at the counter jumps back.
Right.
Now, you've never seen this girl at the counter.
Correct.
So why does she jump back afraid? Because her first impression of you is based on lies.
It's based on a statement made by somebody else.
Correct. Now, this libel, slander, defamation, which has now been going on for 42 years, from high school to colleges to 1994 internet worldwide, is all based on their laundry list, as they call it, of thousands and thousands and thousands of lies similar to that.
They said that there's a laundry list of things.
It was cryptically hinted by Brian Longbottom, saying stop doing what you're doing and using songs to send me kind of like threat messages. And he was pointing out, I think it was like the Jay Giles band or whatever, laundry list. I don't remember.
Okay.
So it was never directly said, but they're collecting dirt and then they're trying to clean me up.
Quote unquote dirt.
Correct.
Because there's no dirt.
Yeah, but they're trying to squeeze.
No, you're right.
They're trying to squeeze
Twisted.
lemonade from a rock in the desert, right? I mean, that's the point.
Right.
Nobody does that unless they have an agenda. They don't like you, okay? I hate this person, I'm gonna rid them of the world.
Right.
They don't do this out of concern. They do this out of hate.
No, because that is not how you treat somebody you care about or concern for.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Is someone in that car? I can't tell. I don't see it. It's running.
Yeah, there is. They're like sitting really low.
Unless
Like a
they're
lowrider,
super short.
And they remember that they pull up and they stare at me in cars like that at coffee shops.
Okay. I couldn't even tell.
And also the tow truck came up here and it reminded me of Rob Roy McGregor, sent after me when I was doing animation, working for an animation firm in Simi Valley. A Rob Roy McGregor befriending me, saying the finished products are all called Heroes, and then making up a lie that his neighbor kid was arrested and stabbed like his father with a knife or something, trying to send me messages I supposedly stabbed someone. Remember yesterday, the samurai guy, the sleigh guy that followed us,
with the shirt,
all these things with knives, all link back to my brother planting the knife on me when we went on the Caribbean cruise, hinting about
the drinks
1941, World War II, Pearl Harbor, last name Perlman,
He planted a knife.
Yeah, so, well, he went out and he bought a Kershaw knife.
Oh, yeah.
And they said, Kevin, here, have a knife for no reason. Why was he doing that? Think about it.
What did you think at the time?
I just thought, you know, I'm a
nice gift.
14-year-old kid. Cool.
Yeah, of course.
It's a pocket knife. It's not.
It's not like a. No, it's not.
Yeah, we're not. It's not a weapon. Okay, it's a pocket knife.
So of course you're not gonna think anything of it. Except
you're not
cool.
gonna. Oh, cool.
My big brother got me something.
Yeah, my brother got me. And he's sending me a hidden message about Pearl Harbor, and like every night, like 14, 16 shots of B-52s and kamikazes. Never lemon drops like Mike Huntley tactics. Never these thousands of millions of other drinks. Just B-52s and kamikazes hitting about airplanes.
Right.
World War II airplanes on a ship in the middle of the ocean. And my last name is Perlman. But people keep asking me, what's your last name? What's your last name? How do you spell your last name? What's your last name? Trying to hint about my last name. Well, that's not normal.
No.
Okay? So let's say my brother's fucking with me. Why does he have to put a knife on him?
Right.
Because he wants to flip me out and go after him with a knife. Now we got guys following me the rest of my life saying I have a knife, I try to kill my brother, this and that, right?
Right. And there was something in the court with that too, right? Was it the same knife or was it different?
No, the only thing in the court was that when Terrence came on my property throwing things, I sort of tried to intimidate him.
And then did you have it in the... Oh, you told the truth.
I told the truth on the stand because I wanted people to understand that I'm the only one being honest.
Right.
That actually I was standing on my property and I pulled out my pocket knife like, stay the fuck away, just leave me the fuck alone already, right?
Right, protecting yourself.
And the prosecution's kind of like...
You were defending yourself on your property.
Correct, but I'm not allowed to defend myself. And now we have police trying to break in my house.
Several times.
What do you think's going to happen if... Let's say I was a gun owner and the police broke in my house and they started shooting at me. What do you think would happen if I pulled out a gun?
It wouldn't be good.
They would say I went after them and made them come in the house. It's the same shit, right?
Even though you're just defending
Yeah, you're just minding your own business. They're hunting you down. You don't defend yourself. No, I've never really done anything. I've never done anything to anyone. I've never gone after Terrence Scroggins. He was waiting for me to take walks. I told him to leave me the fuck alone or I'll cut you. I did. It was an aggressive statement. Leave me alone or I'll cut you down.
Because he wouldn't let you in your house.
There's an if. Stay the fuck away from me. I'm trying to get away from you. And then he's standing in front of my car trying to make citizen arrests.
He wouldn't let you.
He's contacted by Dincy to go after me, right?
It's all of your reactions that you have had, which are like very minimal considering everything.
Yeah.
They're defending yourself. They're not. You're not provoking someone else.
And
That's the thing.
99.9999% is all defensive or passive.
I mean,
hey, here's a card. No matter how many people punch me in the face, like here's a card, right? It's like.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're not going to go out and pick fights. You don't do that. You don't go out and like...
Yeah, no, but that's not what they're telling the entire planet.
Right.
And there's a reason. There's a reason this is going to the entire planet and starting at 5 years old. It's not because of me.
Right. No, you're a good person.
Yeah.
And your mom said that too. I don't know how you felt about that.
But you're a good person, but I'm watching you go down the tubes and I won't admit to the situation.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run inside really quick. Can I leave my bag out here with you again? Is that okay? No, I didn't.
So anyways, Terrence Scroggins, on that 1 hour time, even after my comments, leave me the fuck alone, ran up to me about 4 times threatening me, even after, this is my house.
You gave him like a fair warning, like please leave me the fuck alone.
The fuck away, right?
Yeah.
So.
And you never put hands on him, right?
No, didn't touch him.
See?
He ran up to my face.
Right.
Dincy
face.
reverses all this in the discovery.
And says that it was you that came at him.
He runs up to me, 1 inch in front of my face, screaming at the top of his lungs, and I say about 10 times, you need to stop, you need to stop, you need to stop. Obviously, talk about him and everyone working with him.
But he would not.
He would not acknowledge because his thing was, did you stop passing out cards? And my comment, this was like several months before.
Here's the thing, like, people pass out cards all the time.
But I'm being forced. They're trying to make me look like a public nuisance.
No, I understand.
Okay, so I'm defending myself.
Yeah.
You've seen the cards, you've seen all these people, here and everywhere else.
Yeah. People put cards on cars all the time.
Correct, but let's take that out. Let's keep it in self-defense like it should be.
Okay, sorry. No, I'm just saying you're doing nothing wrong.
Yeah, but no, because that argument, even though it's legal... Oh, well, Kevin, this isn't... What's that movie with Tom Cruise where he's a sports agent and he comes up with an idea?
Jerry Maguire?
Jerry Maguire. This isn't Jerry Maguire. Okay? I did not wake up with an epiphany one morning. Okay?
You don't want to be doing...
I turned 29. I found out there was a worldwide extermination operation, which they want to try to make me look crazy. With all the things right now, yesterday, every day that Brittany witnesses, the 500 gigabytes in her parking lot alone of mass attacks being done to me out here in Thousand Oaks and the rest of the world.
Right.
And so in defense, self-defense, remember, courtrooms are about innocent, guilty, or self-defense.
Yeah.
The lawyers don't want these self-defense coming out. It's not happening. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Oh, they don't even want to...
Self-defense. These people are attacking me. You've been lied to. Here's a card. Read the website. Understand what's going on. Because I don't want to sit here and take your mental batterings until I'm dead and gone or locked away in cages.
That's a good point to reiterate with them too, because you don't want to have to be doing all these things.
Correct. They're forcing me in self-defense. There are two options. Take it until something really bad happens and die or get locked away, or defend yourself and hopefully stop it. Okay? These are the two options. There are no middle grounds.
Right.
Now the argument is, Kevin's imagining it, and he's
so
crazy.
It's not self-defense, it's something
Cover it
else.
up.
Yeah.
And the attorneys like Seymour Hamster and every other one, we're told, all contacted by Detective Angela Stewart, going bye-bye on each and every phone call after each one. I don't know who you are, and I don't believe what you're saying, but we'll stick with it and just try to skate this way or that way. Bullshit.
Right.
Right?
Completely.
Okay?
I mean, you
They're
sent
setups.
them all evidence and all these things I've seen, you know?
Yeah.
So it's...
And Terrence Scroggins is on the stand admitting that he was contacted by Nancy beforehand to go after me.
He said, what did he say exactly?
He says several days. Aside from the anger management classes,
For
he's
you?
for him.
Oh.
He's an ex-Vietnam vet. Kevin's a nuisance. If he feels that if his streets are dirty, then he has the right to go after me.
That's not true.
Did he contact him beforehand? Yes. What my lawyer wouldn't let me talk about was me knowing, being told 2 days before by all the way out in Van Nuys, the car guy, the auto body shop, telling me that this is coming after me.
They said that?
Yeah, and my lawyer wouldn't let me get that on the testimony or in the court.
Wait, the guy legitimately...
The Brian
my
Ushar,
gosh.
just like Brian Longbottom out here, Brian Ushar in Van Nuys, Valley Automotive Center, flat out said, Kevin, there's a cop with a Facebook account and he's coming after you. And after the arrest, I said, is this cop good? He said, yes, it's all recorded and verified on the phone.
That's crazy.
I told my lawyer, he cut me off in court to stop it from coming out on the stand. I never should have been on the stand, showing that they were putting me up on the stand to make me look crazy.
Right.
And Seymour lied to you in court, or in your office, saying that I wanted to go on stand.
Right, but you said nothing was discussed beforehand about it at all, right?
No, it was. Right
About
before I went on the stand, a lawyer my family sent after me named Steve Freeman, who they say is a friend of the family and knew me when we lived when I was 4 years old and through the mud in the street at the time when our dog Oppo bit my brother in the face, whatever.
Oh, jeez.
I'd never seen this guy in my life. And he's a liar. He said he was a criminal defense attorney. Turns out he was a insurance civil attorney. Right, I mean, so who knows who this guy was.
Right.
And so they take me into the room, the little, where you can plea bargain and things. The flower. Because there could be groups of them, like your office.
Or yesterday.
But we have to stick to the groups because it's more provable.
No, yesterday too.
What was I going to say?
The guy you never met him.
They take me in a room and they go, so Kevin, when are you going to stay on the stand? And I had a conversation with Seymour the night before. Are you going to ask me like what happened on this day? I said, yes, exactly. And then when they found out that I was going to talk about 2 days prior, Seymour changed his questioning. So Kevin, what happened when you walked out of your house? Okay, so we're taking things out of context. We're leaving out the full story.
He does,
he does that, but
he wanted you to. I remember
he
in the
wanted to
office
make me look like a crazy guy.
He only wanted to hear about the specific one day, not the full story, so everybody understands.
Yeah. Okay. So
deal.
then Karine or Karen or T Phillips or whatever brings in information that I was not aware about. My attorney, I don't believe it was submitted into evidence. My attorney never
Made you aware.
made me aware, asked questions about anything, because he has to cross-examine.
Right.
That's why information is submitted to the court and checked in.
Right.
Of a photo of me holding the toy gun in the privacy of my own home, which is not a crime.
Who is? Sorry, is she a therapist?
No,
Green
she's a
Tea Phillips?
prosecuting.
Oh, how would she have a picture of you in your house?
Well, they took it off the internet, and it was one that my dad was so mad about
Okay.
with the toy gun that he ate Victoria Walker off. Do you see the connection?
Yeah.
So my dad is going crazy
It's in your home.
because I have
A gun.
no, not a gun.
A toy gun.
Because, well, it doesn't matter. That's the point. It doesn't matter if I have a gun or a toy gun.
Right.
My dad is mad because the incriminating evidence that incriminates him is up on the internet.
Okay. Gotcha.
If I had a real gun and a photo holding it,
You're not doing anything. It's not a crime.
correct. And I even have screenshots of thousands of people per minute typing in Google searches, person holding gun, inside, outside, M16s, AR-15s.
And this is a toy gun.
This
You
is
said
a
it
toy
was
gun.
like
So
a BB gun or something.
The
right?
argument is that if nobody's going after these people holding AR-15s, videos of them shooting ranges,
Right. Then why is it not?
why are they going after Kevin with a toy gun?
Right.
The gun is not the issue.
not
The
relevant.
issue is what is the meaning of the gun is. What's behind? What's the story behind the toy gun?
Right.
Victoria Walker paid off to go after me. Brian Longcroft paid after me. Michael Bialis paid off to go after me. Victoria paid off to give me the gun. My
your
father
birthday,
paying off
right?
LAPD at 16 to put bullet holes in his 300E Mercedes and say I did it and I tried to kill her scared.
Jesus. Is that the same? Is that when there was something you said about like his girlfriend doing that or something? Like there was a story
That was the Alexandra dating
about the
time.
gun thing? About
Wait.
trying to kill him or something? You have a. Sorry. These things
You
bite.
and your bug issues.
I know. One
Okay,
bit
so-
me. Sorry.
So sorry if I rush.
No, no.
Okay, so Janet Nordet,
Maybe.
the Cuban Janet Nordet, went to jail supposedly for 3 years for solicitation to commit murder against my father.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now notice this
Damn.
thing. Everyone that's around my father goes to jail. Everyone that's around my father are criminals or crazy.
That's
Dion Bush supposedly went to jail for 3 years. 3 years again. My dad's limo driver
why?
for supposedly stealing supposedly stealing a like Nintendo or something.
You got 3 years?
Seems kind of strange to you.
It does because the girl
That's not
who
even grand theft.
No, and the chick who tried to like kill him or plotted or whatever, you just
Yeah.
said she got 3 years, and this dude who stole a Nintendo got 3 years. Yeah, that doesn't make
Yeah, it
sense.
doesn't make sense.
No.
And okay, what is the cost of a Nintendo? A couple hundred.
$100, 200.
That
maybe?
doesn't get you 3 years in jail.
No, unless he had priors, but I don't know.
They said he did, but still seems kind of sneaky.
Hi, yeah, I agree.
But the point is, hey Kevin, we want you to move back from Colorado. You can move in my house. Mike Huntley calling me up at the same time. Kevin, I want to start a company with you. What did Mike Huntley do at 29? I've given you enough rope to hang yourself with. We're hunting you down with the police. And I'm originally Jason Perlman's friend. We're going to put you in a mental institution.
Right.
Anita Perlman. Kevin, you should just move back and...
Anita, is that your mom?
You should move back and take the courses from California and transfer the credits to Boulder on the last 2 classes.
What was her reasoning at the time, as she said?
Well, that's the interesting thing. They're just calling me up on the
Randomly.
phone. Randomly manipulating. We want to move you strategically from here to there in an office with Mike Huntley. And then my dad, Kevin, we started the business, a couple of years go by. My dad, Shelly, his wife and girlfriend, Shelly just happened to move out of her office. Kevin, do you want this office space above us in his building on Ventura
your
Boulevard
business?
with that great price? How can you say no? So they're reeling me in. They're getting me closer and closer. Keep your friends close. Keep your enemies closer. Okay, you understand? Mike Huntley then jacks in with Patty Guggen next door to the office into our switch so they can put spyware and things onto my computer, trying to get or put on things to use against me. You get it?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
You found that, right?
What?
Spyware or something? Did you find
Yeah, it gets really deep and complex.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I found 100 million things. There's 100 million mental illness things related. I'll get to that. First, let's talk about Janet and Ordette really quick. Kevin, I want you to move back from Colorado. You can move, or not I want you, but if you do, I just happen to have free room and board.
Just so happened.
Just so happened at the same exact time he's marrying Janet and Ordette. Remember, according to him, I'm sabotaging all his relationships. Just so happened, and people are accusing me of getting rid of Shelly to move out of her office.
When you're dead.
Interesting. Okay. Now, let's talk about the psychological accusations. Janet and Ordette supposedly suffers from split personality disorder, just like Kevin. Janet and Ordette went from, even though she was a Cuban with big old silicone tits or whatever, just went from Susie Homemaker to paranoid, just like Kevin.
Okay.
Janet and Ordette's a thief and a criminal, needs to be watched, just like Kevin. Do you see a repetitive template of behavior from this man? Okay.
Right. The people around him, yeah.
Kevin is supposedly trying to make Janet and Ordette mentally ill and sabotage her. Interesting. Why did you want me to move in if I'm this horrible monster that did all these things to Alexandra, supposedly?
Right. Alexandra is who?
The French girl when I was 16. They were framing me or trying to make up these lies. Then Shelly, after I moved out, Shelly marries my father and she goes, now you have an evil stepmother, and she sends her son Eric after me with these mass groups to try to get rid of me.
She said that to you?
Yeah. And I didn't go to the wedding because I tried to talk to her after that, but after that it was too late. She just kept having Eric and groups of people attack me.
How long ago was that they got married? Like before?
Let's say 2006 or something.
Okay.
Okay, so notice the all black showing up too. That's one of the spy tactics, whatever. Okay, so the point, and she's smiling with a smirk too, like this is funny.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, so the point is that you can see a pattern of behavior from my father doing these things to me and people, and trying to put me in positions to frame me over and over. Hires me at Star Auto House Mercedes when I'm 16. Tells me he found a job at me with Gabby Angle at Star Auto House when I'm 16. Gabby, hinting with the names, Gabby Angle, and then them telling me we want you to drive Chuck Norris's car home to him, and they loosen the lug nuts on one of the wheels. Okay? And the guy throws a wrench at me. All these things, right? And then they obviously probably trying to spin it on me on the violent paranoid schizo, and I did that to them, whatever.
And of course, like you're 16, like you're probably like, sweet, my dad got me a job and I get to work on cars or whatever, I get to drive Chuck Norris's car
I'm just
home.
like,
you're stoked about it.
Yeah, this is great, I get to do
Yeah,
something with my life, and they're angry, right?
And you're not going to think anything of it at the time.
Not until you figure it out, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, now to go a little deeper, I'm in the office, I'm 29, Mike Huntley's rattling, I've given you enough rope to hang yourself.
Right.
Rhodey has now tried to get a threat, and I tried to kill someone. I'm sort of cryptically doing some paranoia, notey things, like, I was writing people's names down with initials.
Yeah.
Like I might have typed MH for Mike Huntley or something. I did a list of names because I didn't want them. I knew they had spyware on my computer. I knew I was finding things on AOL, people taking things off my personal computer, putting them on AOL accounts under similar screen names. And then when I found that, instantly my computer shuts down by itself. And then I reboot it, and they're trying to delete the information off the websites.
Right.
Okay? So I know something's going on with spyware, Mike Huntley, they're tracking everything I do, but I don't know what, and I'm a little flipped out, so I'm putting initials. Now, maybe a couple years later, there's a porn star. Now remember, this goes from every porn star trying to set me up and all these things. Every stripper, every porn star, every person, thousands of people a day at coffee shops, worldwide, whatever. But I'm just going to do one specific, and I'm going to name her name Havana Ginger, a Cuban porn star, who's, I guess, cryptically trying to revenge me for Janet, even though I didn't do anything to Janet. Does that make sense? Okay, well, first of all, how would she have this information?
Right.
Very first question. Second of all, she's changing her screen name to HG. Right?
Initial.
Yeah. Then, a lot of times I wake up, go to the office, get some coffee, get a muffin. She changes her nickname to Cuban Muffin. Okay? Now, this isn't one person doing this. this is a planet of people doing this,
Right.
and I'm imagining it. Nobody thinks it's wrong. Nobody can give me a reason for it. But we're doing all these things around you based on everything you do, on intricate details. Why?
Right. To make you question yourself.
Or not question myself.
Well, to make you wonder what's going on at first.
Next,
Anyway.
let's go deeper, broader.
To flip you out?
Correct.
Okay.
To flip me out.
Yeah.
To say Kevin is crazy. Gang stalking.
Which is
Gaslighting.
like, let me just say this to make this clear. If this was happening to anybody and they started noticing it, like they would be like, what's going on?
Correct. And I've done research because I found out what gang stalking was by typing in group stalkers and things like this, trying to figure out what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
And the very select few actual real targets, that's it. Like, I can't believe I'm seeing this. Who do I tell? What do I say? And they're met with hostility. You're crazy or whatever.
Yeah.
But just like in the 1940s movie Gaslighting or whatever, it does happen on an extremely rare basis. There are crazies of all varieties out there.
Absolutely.
It's just lying for some reason worldwide, and the police are all helping. And the government. That's where things really get freaky. And psychology.
Right.
Yeah. So,
I know the things that you've been told about yourself.
Yeah. And no matter how much flat-out video footage I give my lawyer or anyone else,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. They know what's going on. They won't be honest. Okay. My family and everyone else says they want me to live a normal life. They are only concerned with everything else other than the real issue.
You kept saying that to your mom the other day too.
Okay.
I remember that.
So why is this? Well, I think we pretty much.
Yeah.
Because they have an agenda. After what you've seen, when you agree that watching people provoke you every few minutes worldwide would make you seem to appear with OCD or some kind of focus issues.
I would be looking real crazy.
Yeah.
I would. And I think you've done a good job of like, I don't know how you do it, honestly. No, I would definitely be like very paranoid.
Yeah.
For sure. And it
Well,
took
I don't think paranoid, but
I think I would be.
annoyed.
I would be like,
At
what
first
the hell is
paranoid.
happening? Yeah, I would be.
But then you would be like, this is really fucking annoying. They need to stop.
Like-
exactly what I told Detective Angela Stewart.
Right.
This needs to stop. She got angry. And then she came after me.
then it took you a while too. Like I want them to understand this as well. Like you didn't just instantly, like you're not instantly, okay, this is what's happening. Like these people are after me, blah blah blah. No, you're like this can't be. This is so unheard of. You know?
It took me a
long
good 5-6
time.
years.
It's not like one
Knowing
day.
but not wanting to say anything, or different stages. There's different stages of things.
That's what is important.
Those are very long conversations, but I'm seeing it, but I don't believe it. And then but it is happening, but I can't tell anyone.
It's not just like one day you're like, okay, this
and then it's okay. Now I'm gonna hire private investigators, but the private investigators are angry, so they won't help me. To this day, a private investigator won't do what you're doing right now.
Okay.
For $100, for $1,000, for $100,000, will not simply observe the situation and video it.
I don't understand that. I mean, no,
and by the way, that links to Tim Thompson in my office, which I gave free office space to, building private investigator systems. The link.
It's okay, it falls.
The link, private investigation firms.
Thank you.
All together, worldwide, so that I can't call one. You think that's pretty creepy? He was building PI portals in our office and linking them all to share data, and then going after me.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty
What
freaky,
the?
huh?
Yeah. And you
Okay.
hired him for free, or you
I
gave
didn't
him
hire
free
him.
space.
I was friends with Steve McPike at University of Colorado, a fellow pool player. Steve McPike comes out here,
Yeah.
or Steve McPike calls me up, the same types of things. Calls me on the phone, Kevin, you gotta learn this ASP technology, which is early Microsoft web development
okay.
technology
Cool.
in the late 90s. And he just wants to fly out and show me. I mean, really nice, very nice.
Yeah.
But
very
in this
nice.
niceness, there's an agenda.
Undercover. Right.
Kevin, well, we're pool players. What are we gonna do? We're
Play
gonna go to
pool,
pool.
of course.
So we go to Yankee Doodles by my house.
Is that the one that your stepdad owns?
No, he owned one by a Rite Aid off like Plumber and Balboa or something.
Okay.
I never actually went in there. It's fairly.
Oh, you showed me the picture.
Yeah, I showed you
Okay.
and I showed you that. What a coincidence. So we're gonna go to Yankee Doodles by my house in Woodland Hills. I mean, you could pretty much profile that as a sure thing, being that I play shit that I'll go there.
Yeah, of
And
course.
the pool player's coming in town. One of my old friends.
Yeah, you're gonna play pool.
So we're
Makes
gonna play
sense.
pool.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Is that Tim Thompson? Right there's Steve McPike. Is that Tim Thompson? Tim, blah blah blah. Let's all shoot pool. Let's get social.
Mm-hmm.
So I become friends with Tim Thompson. Tim Thompson is a web developer too. Interesting. Tim Thompson just happens to be working for Hot Body International doing servers.
Okay.
Interesting.
And they
Tim
knew each
Thompson.
other randomly because he was in Colorado with you.
Supposedly, Tim lived in Colorado and moved out here.
Oh.
Obviously, strategically, these were set up operations.
Like what are the chances?
Tim Thompson. Hold on, Tim Thompson. Hot Body International. Tim Thompson leaving porn covers on by his. So I give Tim Thompson free office space because my motto is, you want to surround yourself with innovative,
Absolutely.
creative people to do things that make money and not be some greedy loser that.
You're a nice person.
Right,
You want to
squander
help if
it.
you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mutually beneficial.
So I put him in my office, and if he has any ideas, he goes, Kevin, we should build adult websites, even though I'd already been building some. And so, okay, here's some projects, and he wouldn't start them.
He wouldn't?
No. And he kept saying, we should build. And then at the
Weird.
end, after Roddy Morales, he gets mad at me, and he goes, well, you built adult website, didn't you?
When he wanted to do that with you.
Correct. You see the original thing I was telling you, here's a cookie, you took a bite of the cookie, now I'm going to hunt you and kill you for the eating cookie crime. Okay. So now, and the reason I'm going so fast is because we don't have much time.
No, it's okay.
Tim Thompson, this is the connector. Tim Thompson at one point wants to go in to do further Hot Body International's website, and I pitch a thing, and by the time I put together this really huge flowchart, really intricate, cool ideas, something really large, an hour before Hot Body calls them saying we don't want to work with you.
No.
Now, why did they do that?
Oh, that's
Well,
awful.
why this coincidence? Right at the last minute, when you're peaking in passion, and
You just finished this huge thing
can you figure it out?
to make you look like this is something you were doing and they're
reaction.
not. Oh, a reaction.
Passive aggressive, strategic passive aggressive reaction.
I'd be upset. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
I would feel that way.
Well, what they're trying to do is get me on the phone, like, you piece of shit, right?
Right.
And it didn't work like usual. But that's what they wanted. Okay, so now the next connector. Tim Thompson has porn box covers, like flattened box cover, a box of them, and the top one is who? I've already rattled off Havana Ginger. Alexis Amore. Wow. Can you believe it?
Coincidence, Right.
Now, Brian Longbottom, Roddy Morales wants me to go to Spearmint Rhino Van Nuys. Wowzers, or Alexis Amore follows me there. Me not knowing,
Yeah.
I just happen to be a stripper here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
She's very professional, very friendly, not very talkative, whatever, like the other ones who sit there without me for hours, but whatever. Very professional. She came off to me like a really professional, innovative, I'm doing all these different.
Yeah.
So I sort of had respect before I found out what was going on.
Right.
Okay, so then
Yeah.
Brian Longbottom comes in, we're playing pool, he goes through the sharking things to try to make me look like I'm doing things to people, he wants me to play a guy for money, so I break my normal, not concrete rule, but I don't usually play for money, so I play a guy for money to show Brian Longbottom that I can play under pressure.
Yeah.
They get mad like I committed a crime for playing like $5 a game, who cares, and Brian Longbottom takes me to Sharky's.
Oh, I thought that was Sharky's behind us, but it's not.
No, Sharky's restaurant where I'm supposed to be a horrible, mean, sharking criminal. And Alexis Amore is there eating with her mother. I say hi. She plays a game like I don't know you.
When you were just talking to her, like.
Yeah, I just said, oh, hi, blah, 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 good to see you. And she just, oh, I don't know you, whatever. So I don't want to get aggressive and be some asshole, so I don't.
Yeah.
Obviously playing a passive-aggressive game. And then the next thing, remember these are all linked to Tim Thompson. Tim Thompson's in our office. He picks up the phone. He says, Kevin, there's a phone call for you. And now I'd been down to Los Angeles Spearmint Rhino with Brody Morales.
Mm-hmm.
Here to set me up. I said, okay, and I pick up the phone, and it's the manager of Los Angeles Spearmint Rhino. And I said, okay, what do you need? He said, I didn't call you.
What?
Yeah. I didn't really pick up on the weird freaky things.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Like, why am I on the phone with them? I didn't call you.
And then he continues to tell me, they have a Citrix environment, a remote desktop terminal server environment. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Well, no, but like some type of deal with their
it's computer thin
machines.
client. Companies all work from remote into one main server
Okay,
with
yeah.
a visual desktop. Okay.
Yeah.
And this was the innovative thing back in the 90s. Now it's mainstream. We have a Citrix environment. We might be having some problems or have some ideas. You want to come down here and talk to you?
But we didn't call you.
But we didn't call you.
That's weird.
Okay, sure, whatever. I come down there. It's possible money.
Yeah.
And I talked to the guy for about an hour. He doesn't really want anything done or like we'll call you if whatever,
That's weird. So you made
not
a trip.
necessarily because you're feeling out of possible trouble.
Oh, that
right?
makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
Now where it gets weird is I leave the main office and Alexis Amore's there.
Again.
No, but now we're in LA.
Right. No, I mean
We're not in
shows
Van
up.
Nuys.
She is where you are again.
Yeah.
She comes to you
Okay.
where you are. Yeah.
Now Alexis Amore has a scared look on her face.
Okay.
It should freak the fuck out.
That's
Like I
weird.
sliced her up 100 times, right? Like
You ran into her. I'm sure you thought
it's just
randomly.
like, it's just a coincidence. Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Of course you are.
And so I don't know what's going on through her head. I'm like, hey, can I get a lap dance like the old days, whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Sure, whatever. Nothing's said, nothing's done, whatever. Now, some of the comical things is back in. Side note, some of the comical things is back in Van Nuys. She was doing like 5-for-1s.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know anything about the lap dance thing, they split the song. So if you're doing a 2-for-1, they cut the song in half. So what's the difference between one lap dance and a 2-for-1?
Nothing.
Same thing.
Right.
So now if you get a 5-for-1, they cut the song into a tiny little.
So it's the same thing.
So it's hysterical, but she's like, let's do a 5-for-1. Okay, sure, whatever, right? And anyway, whatever, who cares? And I have a funny YouTube about that, whatever.
Do you?
The parody of it, right? Mm-hmm. But anyways,
did you do a photo shoot with her?
no, I actually asked her to do a photo shoot at AdultCon where things really got swirly.
Okay.
Once again, I didn't do anything. To give you an example, sorry, I had a thought in relation. Okay, so we talked about this on one of our conversations. After this, Alexis Moore posts this thing on MySpace or Facebook or Twitter. Hey everyone, I'm dancing at, it might have been Deja Vu or something.
Uh-huh.
Everyone come down. No, it wasn't maybe, I'm not sure.
It was somewhere.
Everyone come down.
Right.
Okay.
Why not?
I'm invited, I'm everyone. I don't know these people want me dead for no reason at all.
Right. You've met her before, like it seems legit.
Yeah, I go down. I think this was after Van Nuys, or after Los Angeles Rhino. I go down, completely professional, nothing mean said, this and that, that's it. They do their little feature thing, they go in the back room, you want to talk to me, I talk to her for a total of 30 seconds, like, good to see you, blah, 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 love your work, whatever, okay, bye. Nothing like,
no, you're very...
hey, I want to take you home and rape your brains out, or anything,
No,
like...
you would never. You're very professional always. No, you would never.
And technically, I probably should have been like, hey, baby, let's fuck or whatever, but...
That's not you, though. That's
I'm a little more tactful. I don't like to come off like just a babbling idiot.
Well,
or
no,
like a drooling, horny dog or whatever.
No, you're very respectful. You've always been very respectful.
Yeah. So now, after this, she didn't directly say anything, but everyone around, like, he won't leave her alone, I'm being harassed. I'm watching the people around me get angry and angrier. Okay? Now I'm going after this, some time goes by the way, here's another car backwards. Some time goes by and there's an adult con in LA, which they have every year, maybe twice a year, and it's kind of a cheeseball exotica. It's a crapper compared to exotica, but I went to the first one with Rhodey. I'm not going to get into the details. With Valmoroso calling me up right when we get there from University of Colorado, who wanted me to go to strip clubs and start companies with me as well. Interesting.
Weird. Let me know when I can ask a question. I don't want to throw you off.
I'm sorry. I'm about to finish.
No, it's okay.
We go to AdultCon. I go up to the booth, I ask her to do photography, I give her my card, my photography's upside. I'm also giving my card out to everyone else, as well as a tattoo place. So they want to do these really cool patterns with tattoos and making rooms match the tattoos.
No way.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool.
That's a great idea.
And just this angriest look from the people. Just the angriest. I remember buying a shirt, had like a poker card on it, and they just mouthing off in anger and rage.
What were they saying?
I don't remember, just some alluding innuendo of, like, hey fighter, something like that.
Okay.
Who knows? And then when I go to Alexis Moore, the guy that's kind of standing with her at the booth tries to manipulate me to go to Rio Lee, I think her name is, someone else's booth, tried to do something
deter
weird.
you or something?
I don't know what he was doing, trying to manipulate me into some weird situation.
Okay.
Right? And I think at the time it almost looked like she got mad at him.
For doing that?
It's kind of, sort of, but there's so much noise that you can't tell what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And there's so many freaky operations. If I'm in a room of 1,000 people and 900 of them are taking turns of mental rage, mental beatings, you don't know what direction it's coming from or who's involved, but the most important thing is that nobody's coming forward stating it how it is. Right. This guy hasn't done anything, these people need to stop, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so now, sorry, I totally
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I just had one question. Tim, what's his Turner?
Tim Thompson.
What is the thing he was building already? What was it called? It was the website. What was that called?
Oh, the private investigator website?
No, it was a porn site, right?
No, he wasn't.
What was the first thing that he was doing?
He worked for Hot Body International.
What is that? Yeah.
I don't know if they're around anymore. Back in the 90s. They're very similar to Danny. What was her name? Danny's hard drive. I can't remember. This girl was a porn star or a stripper that became like a million, huge. She put up a website and she started doing photo shoots of all of her friends. Danny Asher, and it went monolithic, right? Okay, and Hot Body International was we have amateur contests with all the hot girls, and we do photo shoots, and you come up, and they weren't so much porn; they were more nude women.
See, so then he's getting upset, like, because he was already in that industry, and then he's asking you to build these sites and stuff. Then he gets pissed and he doesn't want to get his hands.
Like I'm coming, you're like sabotaging before it happens.
Right, but I'm doing the same thing.
Now to give you an idea of the weird things, Tim Thompson says let's go to an amateur contest, and you can be one of the voters. Now, this thing's an hour. It's in the backyard of a house. They're videoing it. They have a stage. 10 girls go up.
Right.
And at the end you go, I think it's the best. Yeah. Yes, but they're really doing it to build website content. Now, Brittany, you'll like this.
What?
A redhead, Brittany Love. A nice, gorgeous redhead girl.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay.
Got mad at me because I didn't vote for her.
She needs a calm down.
Now wait, I've never had a conversation with Brittany Love.
Right. Like
I have no connection. I just saw her on the stage and voted. And like 5 or 10 years later, I saw her on Twitter at it, and it was like pure anger.
Oh my god.
Like
10 years later.
Okay, what is going on, right? It's like you're telling me some girl that stands in front of a stage in front of a man or builds web is mad because Kevin Perlman, who doesn't know her and she shouldn't know me, but she does with the rest of the world, is mad at me. And how am I supposed to know she's mad at me? Because they didn't come with her or anything, It's like
there's no way.
On both, not a literal, but on both. I didn't come with her.
You've never been in physical contact with her. You just saw her dancing.
Right, you get the idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so pure insanity. Now,
what time? I'm so sorry. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So, what is? You have to go soon.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes past
so
when I was supposed to go.
Because Brittany has to go, let's do a logical, factual closer here based on opinion and fact, and not illegal gossip propaganda drama. If a guy exerts that much energy, get in your office, working with your pool friends from Colorado, and in the end, it wants to build websites, and I said, let's put up Ask Candy, which was kind of a parody spoof on Ask Jeeves. You remember Ask Peets?
Yeah, I do. That's clever though.
Okay, and it was a search directory for the adult industry.
It was Ask Candy. Like Ask Candy. Like Ask.
Yeah.
That's clever.
That was kind of my innovative database ideas.
Yeah.
But Tim would not take heart. I'm going to get to it.
He
not
wouldn't
yet,
do
blah, blah,
it,
blah.
but that's the
Kevin,
whole
let's
reason.
Go web adult sites. Shit hits the fan with Rody Morales. His true colors come out just like Mike Huntley. I've given you enough rope to hang yourself with.
Yeah.
Well, you built adult websites, didn't you?
Duh, dude. Like, obviously, that's why he wanted to work with you. He wanted to do that with you. Right?
What?
He wanted to do that with you. Isn't that why he was, like,
Well, that's
coming
what
to you?
he says.
Right. So it makes no sense why he was
Correct.
saying, yeah.
Nobody comes up to you and says, let's build adult websites, and I'm going to punish you for building adult websites.
No, that's why.
Unless someone doesn't want you. Okay, we have the horn twice. Someone doesn't want you building adult websites, so they're setting you up, even though you haven't done anything wrong.
No.
Like, let me throw out some theories here. Like Dr. Ronald Barry Perlman, Arnold Silver, Anita Perlman. Oh, you want to do adult websites, do you? Here's a cookie. Do you like eating cookies? Have a cookie. Oh,
Why'd you eat that cookie?
you just took a bite of the cookie. Now we're going to throw you in jail cells and mental institutions for your crimes
Eating a cookie.
of eating a cookie
That we gave you.
that you gave me. But eating cookies isn't illegal.
No. And didn't your dad, like, promote you seeing, like, or doing what you're doing or
Verbally,
something?
he
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
Okay, that's the two-phase point.
Right.
Verbally. My dad would say weird things, which were sort of weird to me. Oh, you're building adult websites? We'll get laid.
Right. And
And
it goes
then
against-
Lorena Escobar, his hired hit woman, is running around saying Kevin's a fraud and he's trying to meet women.
But your dad is
But
like,
yet
yeah,
I'm
that's
exerting
not
the
fun.
opposite, completely professional
Absolutely.
at all environments. Strip clubs, model
Always.
mayhem, one model plays, adult websites, Emily porn star Emily Jewell, hustler girl Tracy Anna Koval, all these people, and I'm not even going to get into the backstories of what those people were doing. All these people
You've always been very
that
professional.
I'm the professional one,
Right.
and all of them together, more importantly with my family,
Right.
you ate the cookie,
Right.
and no one's on my side going,
You're the only professional. They
right?
should
And then they
appreciate
try
that.
to curb it while you're dealing in shady environments.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know, that is true, but this is totally off.
But you would
Out
think
of-
that they would appreciate someone who is professional when I'm sure they deal with a lot of like non-professional people in that environment. I
It's
mean,
hard to say because a
I
lot of them are.
would. I would appreciate the
Tracy Anna
professionalness.
Koval was out getting spy video on Gene Simmons and trying to reel me into that shit. So,
Oh yeah.
and so she totally destroyed her name.
Right.
But
you're professional.
But I'm like, I'm not. You know, get.
Yeah, and that's throughout your life you've done the right thing. Like,
Yeah,
you have.
but this is my point: is that okay? First of all, if there was a newspaper thing saying Kevin Perlman and Tracy Anna Koval
Right.
did this to Gene Simmons,
Right.
that's an argument, and then you can sue. That's not how these things are working. It's all in secret, worldwide propaganda, and nobody knows you.
Right.
Okay. Now,
There's
yes, some of the adult industry is shady.
Right.
But this is not that, because what we're seeing is entire planet against one guy and no middle ground, and it starts at 5 years old, and it also applies to pool halls, which generally aren't shady,
Right.
coffee shops, which definitely aren't shady, Southern Oregon State College, which is clearly not shady,
Right. You taking a walk at
Calabasas
night, like
High,
anything.
taking walks, okay, right?
Right.
It's not about the adult industry.
No, it's
No.
not.
It's about. It could be about a family going, I dictate every single thing you do in life,
Right. To the
or I
extreme.
rid you of the world.
Or
Because Dr. Ronald Barry Perlman wants to look like a good, decent, honest orthopedic surgeon,
right.
but he's not. Right?
Just like what you were too honest and too like you stood by your morals and made them look bad. Like I don't
Doesn't
get
make any
it.
sense. Doesn't make
I
sense.
don't get it. No,
It doesn't matter how honest, how criminal I could be, how
You're one up.
communication, if I have the perfect communication skills, it does not matter. It matters as much as a Jew walking around Germany in the 40s and a Nazi walks up to him, or Adolf Hitler walks up to him.
Wrong. It's horrible.
You know, you want money, you want gold, let's get a coffee. Bam!
it's awful.
I'm gonna do these horrible things to you, right?
It's inexcusable. There's
Yeah.
No, it's
But this is
disgusting.
all judicial system based. That's where it really gets weird.
right.
and it's linking up to the government. And organizations like Fox News and MSNBC, all involved. The amount of harassments on Fox News alone, I mean, just insane. Going to the White House. Wait, I just happened to be...
And they were following you, right? Wasn't somebody following you?
People were following, just like here, following. It's a combination. Wherever I go, people know me.
Yeah.
And then groups of people show up.
Right.
The ones that aren't there to see me. And then it just escalates. So, example, we went to Jamba yesterday. Mm-hmm. Remember how, even though people knew me and were angry, that it was, as far as people traffic and clothing colors, it was close to non-existent. And then 40 minutes in or an hour in, larger and larger groups start coming up. Right. And we saw the gray and blacks within 20, 30 minutes, about 15, 20 gray and blacks. But before that, it was quiet, right?
Yeah,
slowly,
it was very quiet.
So, everywhere I go, people know me. Then they're told to show up and attack me. Then the larger thing, example, groups notified to do certain things. Like, so like the Black and Blues are showing up now, right? Mm-hmm. And when I left my house on camera, I'm talking about the Black and Blues amping up today.
And it's, oh man, and it's in such a way that it could seem legit since it got closer to lunchtime yesterday or whatever. That's when more people started coming.
That's true,
so
but
it's
the color
like,
patterns.
No, you're absolutely right. But I'm saying, like, I would, you know.
Yeah, so it's a dual thing. It's like, I'm just going out to get food, but I'm going out to get food because I know Kevin's here and I'm going to put on these clothing patterns.
Right, but it looks like I'm just
looks
getting
legit.
food. Yeah.
Because what's going on is so crazy, but more importantly, example, I tap my foot around Aubrey Fisher at places worldwide for 6 years. People see me, and they start tapping their foot.
Right.
Or I go to a coffee shop and I'm reading a book. I don't think they can see it on camera, probably not, but I'm reading a book with my feet on the chair.
Right.
And all of a sudden, every coffee shop in the world for something like 15 years, people see me and they put their feet up on the chair, and then it switches, they put one foot up on the chair. Every coffee shop in the world. So now, what does that mean? It means if you arrive, they already know who you are, and they have the tactic to do to you.
Right.
But now, after this, the groups are going to show up and make it a lot worse. Mm-hmm. Until they can get what they want, death threats, or me to try to go after someone and say Kevin's a violent paranoid schizo, and he just flipped out on someone.
Right, but that's never going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen, but that's why, and they knew that, that's why Terrence Scroggins was paid off to frame me and make it look like I'm going after him with weapons and things like this.
Right. And then he acknowledged on the stand that he had been contacted prior, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And any of you, this is very important, any of you can order the court transcripts, and if any news organizations are watching this, any people, get those transcripts, get them on the internet, get them to the world. You will see firsthand what's really going on.
Yep.
Hence why they want me to go in tomorrow into a courtroom and tell the judge that I want to be checked into a mental institution with thugging from like Deborah Bear and my family, because they want on the transcript to make me look crazy.
Right. By doing that, it's saying you're guilty of something.
Yeah, I'm self-confessing in an indirect way, right?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Okay, so Brittany's got to go.
Sorry, thank you. Let me just throw this away.
Yeah.